Dr. Alex Chen had always been fascinated by the idea of life beyond Earth. Working at the research station on Europa, one of Jupiter's moons, he spent his days studying strange organisms that lived in the icy waters beneath the surface. But nothing could have prepared him for what happened on that Tuesday morning in 2157. The alarm bell started ringing at exactly 6:42 a.m. Alex was in the middle of examining some unusual bacteria samples when his colleague Dr. Rivera burst into the lab, her face pale with excitement. "Alex, you need to see this right now," she said, grabbing his arm. "We're receiving a signal from space. It's not random noise. It's mathematics. Perfect. Clear mathematics." Alex followed her to the communications center, where a crowd of scientists had gathered around the main screen. The signal was unlike anything they had ever seen. It showed prime numbers, then moved to the Fibonacci sequence, and finally displayed complex equations that would take human mathematicians years to solve. "How long has this been going on?" Alex asked, his heart racing. "About 30 minutes, replied Dr. Kim, the station's head of communications. "But here's the really strange part. The signal is getting stronger, and it's changing. Look at this." The screen suddenly displayed a star map, showing Earth's solar system with incredible accuracy. Then, slowly, coordinates appeared. Coordinates that pointed to a location near Proxima Centauri, the closest star to Earth, within hours. Every major government on Earth knew about the signal. The United Nations called an emergency meeting, and world leaders argued about what to do next. Some wanted to ignore it, thinking it might be a trap. Others believed this was humanity's greatest opportunity. Alex found himself in the middle of all this chaos because he was one of the few experts who had studied the possibility of alien life. His research papers on how life might evolve on different planets had made him somewhat famous in scientific circles. 3 days later, Alex received a call that changed his life forever. Captain Torres, a veteran space explorer, was calling from Earth's capital. "Dr. Chen, we're putting together a team for first contact. We need someone who understands alien biology, or at least what we think alien biology might be like. Your name came up first on our list." Alex's hands trembled as he held the phone. "Are you serious? We're actually going to meet them? Dead serious? The ship leaves in 1 week. We need your answer now." Alex didn't hesitate. "I'm in." The next week passed in a blur of preparation. Alex found himself aboard the UES Horizon, humanity's most advanced spaceship, along with a team of 12 other people. There was Captain Torres, a calm woman with kind eyes who had been exploring space for 20 years. Dr. Martinez handled all the diplomatic stuff, speaking 6 languages and knowing the customs of dozens of Earth cultures. The military team was led by Commander Johnson, a serious man who clearly didn't trust aliens, but was professional enough to do his job. The journey to Proxima Centauri would normally take months, but the ship's new quantum drive got them there in just 2 weeks. Alex spent most of that time studying everything humanity knew about the signal and trying to imagine what the aliens might look like. "What if they're hostile?" asked Dr. Park, the team's psychologist, during one of their evening discussions. "What if they're not?" Alex replied. "What if they're just curious about us? The same way we're curious about them." Captain Torres smiled. "That's why we brought you, Alex. You see possibilities where others see problems." When they finally arrived at the coordinates, Alex's breath caught in his throat. Floating in the darkness of space was something that looked more like a work of art than a spaceship. It was massive, easily 100 times bigger than their ship, and it seemed to be made of some kind of living crystal that pulsed with soft, colorful light. "My God," whispered Dr. Martinez, "it's beautiful." The alien ship didn't make any threatening moves. Instead, it sent them another mathematical message, this time including what looked like an invitation. The message showed their small ship being welcomed inside the larger one. "They want us to come aboard," said Commander Johnson, checking his weapons nervously. Captain Torres made the decision. "We came here to make contact. Let's do it." As their ship moved closer to the alien vessel, Alex noticed that the crystal surface seemed to open up like a flower. revealing a docking bay that was perfectly sized for their ship. The technology was so advanced that it seemed like magic. "How do they know the size of our ship?" asked Dr. Kim. "They've been watching us," Alex realized. "They know everything about us already." Once they docked, the team put on their special suits and prepared to meet the aliens. Alex's heart was pounding so hard he was sure everyone could hear it as the airlock opened. They were greeted by a sight that would be burned into Alex's memory forever. The aliens were tall and graceful, moving with a fluid elegance that made them seem like they were dancing rather than walking. Their skin was unlike anything Alex had ever seen, shifting through different colors like an oil slick, but beautiful rather than strange. Their eyes were large and seemed to glow with an inner light. One of them stepped forward and spoke in a voice that sounded like music. To Alex's amazement, a translation device on the wall immediately converted the words to English. "Welcome, humans from the third planet. We are the Veltherin. We have been waiting for you." The lead alien, who seemed to be in charge, approached them with no fear at all. "I'm Kethfer, guardian of the threshold. Our Empress has requested this meeting. She has been most eager to meet your kind." Alex felt a strange tingling sensation, like electricity running through his body. There was something about these beings that felt familiar, even though he had never seen anything like them before. "We are honored by your invitation," said Dr. Martinez, stepping forward with diplomatic grace. "We come in peace and friendship." "No," Kethfer replied, and Alex could swear he saw the aliens smile. "Your hearts are open books to us. Follow me. The Empress awaits." As they walked through corridors that seemed to be alive, with walls that pulsed gently with light and what looked like organic patterns, Alex couldn't shake the feeling that his life was about to change in ways he couldn't imagine. Alex whispered. Dr. Park, walking beside him, "Are you feeling that too?" "Feeling what?" "Like we're meant to be here. Like this was always supposed to happen." Alex nodded, not trusting his voice. The sensation was getting stronger with each step they took toward the throne room where the mysterious Empress waited. Something deep inside him was awakening, something that had been sleeping his entire life. The corridor ahead curved gracefully, leading them toward a soft, welcoming light. Whatever was waiting for them round that corner, Alex knew that nothing would ever be the same again. The corridor seemed to stretch forever, but Alex barely noticed. His mind was racing with questions and excitement. What would the alien Empress be like? Would she be friendly, hostile? And why did he feel this strange pull, like something was calling to him from deep inside the ship? "Stay close together," whispered Captain Torres. "We don't know what we're walking into." Kethfer, their alien guide, seemed to sense their nervousness. His skin shifted to softer, calmer colors as he spoke. "Do not fear. The Empress values courage, and you have shown great courage by coming here." They turned a corner, and Alex's jaw dropped. The throne room was unlike anything he had ever imagined. The ceiling stretched up so high it seemed to disappear into darkness, but the walls were alive with gentle, pulsing light. Hundreds of aliens floated gracefully in the low gravity, their skin colors shifting and changing in patterns that Alex realized must be some kind of communication. They're talking to each other with their skin. He whispered to Dr. Park. "Fascinating," she replied, pulling out her recorder. "It's like watching a living light show." The aliens in the court were all different, but all beautiful in their own way. Some were tall and thin, others shorter and more robust. Their skin colors ranged from deep blues and purples to bright silvers and golds, but they all shared that same graceful movement in those large, luminous eyes. "The court of the Veltherin Empire," Kethfer announced proudly. "We have ruled the stars for thousands of your years, but we have never welcomed beings from beyond our reach. Today is historic." Alex noticed that many of the aliens were staring at the human group with curiosity, their skin patterns shifting rapidly. Some seemed excited, others worried. A few looked almost afraid. "They're not sure what to make of us," observed Dr. Martinez. "Can you blame them?" Alex replied. "We probably look as strange to them as they do to us." Suddenly, the entire room fell silent. The floating aliens gracefully moved aside, creating a clear path down the center of the throne room. Alex felt his heart skip a beat as he realized what was happening. The Empress approaches, Kefir said softly. Show respect, but do not fear. She is wise and fair. Alex had tried to imagine what the alien Empress would look like, but his imagination had fallen far short of reality. She entered the throne room like she was floating on air, her movements so smooth and elegant that she seemed to be dancing rather than walking. Her skin was the most beautiful thing Alex had ever seen, shifting through deep purples and silvers that seemed to contain entire galaxies. She wore what looked like armor, but it wasn't metal. It seemed to be alive, growing from her skin like beautiful, organic art above her head. A crown of crystal formations floated, held in place by some invisible force, but it was her eyes that made Alex's breath catch. They were large and luminous like the others, but there was something different about them. They seemed to look right through him, as if she could see into his very soul. Welcome, travelers from the third world, she said, and her voice was like music. I am Zerathiel, Empress of the Veilthurin. We have watched your species for many cycles, waiting for the right moment to make contact. Dr. Martinez stepped forward, her diplomatic training taking over. Your Majesty, we are honored by your invitation. We come representing all of humanity, hoping to establish peaceful relations between our peoples. The Empress nodded gracefully, but Alex noticed that her attention kept drifting to him every time she looked at him. He felt that strange tingling sensation again, stronger than before. Your people are young but promising, the Empress continued. You have learned to reach beyond your world, to seek knowledge among the stars. This shows wisdom. We have so much to learn, Dr. Martinez replied. Perhaps our species can help each other. Perhaps, the Empress agreed, but again her eyes found Alex. This time, he felt like he couldn't look away. The moment stretched between them, and Alex became aware that the entire court was watching this exchange with growing interest. The Empress's skin began to shift to colors Alex hadn't seen before, patterns that seemed to pulse with energy. The other aliens in the court noticed too, their own skin patterns changing to what Alex somehow knew was surprise and confusion. Your Majesty, Kefir said quietly, the court awaits your words. The Empress seemed to shake herself from whatever trance she had been in. Yes, of course, she turned back to Dr. Martinez. But Alex noticed her hands were trembling slightly. We have much to discuss, the Empress said, her voice not quite as steady as before. Your species shows great potential, but also great danger. You have the power to create or destroy. Which path will you choose? It was a fair question. Alex knew that humanity had both wonderful achievements and terrible mistakes in their history. We're trying to choose creation, he said, surprising himself by speaking up. That's why we're here. We want to learn and grow. The Empress's eyes locked onto his again, and this time the sensation was so strong that Alex felt dizzy. Her skin patterns were moving faster now, and he could see that she was struggling with something. You speak truth, she said softly. Your heart is open, your intentions pure. She paused, seeming to gather herself. But there are complexities you do not yet understand. Our species are more connected than you realize. Connected how? Captain Torres asked. The Empress looked troubled. There are ancient prophecies, written in the stars long before your species learned to stand upright. They speak of a bridge between worlds, a connection that will unite different forms of life. Alex felt a chill run down his spine. What kind of connection? Before the Empress could answer, her bioarmor began to glow intensely. The light was so bright that the humans had to shield their eyes. When it faded, the Empress was backing away, her skin pattern showing what Alex somehow knew was panic. I must retire, she said quickly. The audience is concluded. But Your Majesty, Dr. Martinez called out, we've only just begun our discussions. Tomorrow, the Empress said. Not looking back, we will continue tomorrow. She left the throne room so quickly that she seemed to vanish, leaving the court in chaos. The other aliens were floating in agitated clusters, their skin patterns flashing rapidly as they communicated in their light language. What just happened? Asked Dr. Park. Kefir approached them, his own skin showing worried patterns. "Something unprecedented," he said quietly. "The Empress has never behaved this way. Not in all the years I have served in this court." "Is she angry with us?" Captain Torres asked. "No," Kefir replied, looking directly at Alex. "She is not angry. She is awakening, and that terrifies her." "Awakening to what?" Alex asked, though he wasn't sure he wanted to know the answer. Kefir's skin shifted to deep, serious colors. "To destiny, Dr. Chen. To a destiny that may change both our species forever." As the human delegation was escorted to their quarters, Alex couldn't shake the feeling that Kefir was right. Something had awakened in that throne room. Something that connected him to the beautiful, mysterious Empress in ways he couldn't understand. And somehow, he knew that tomorrow would bring answers he wasn't ready for. Alex couldn't sleep that night. He kept thinking about the way the Empress had looked at him, the strange connection he felt, and Kefir's words about destiny. When morning came, he found the rest of the team equally restless. "Something's happening," Dr. Park said over breakfast. "The aliens who brought us food seem excited about something." Captain Torres nodded. "I've been monitoring their communications. There's definitely increased activity throughout the ship." Around midday, Kefir arrived at their quarters, but his usual calm demeanor was gone. His skin patterns were shifting rapidly, showing what Alex had learned to recognize as nervousness. "The Empress has made an announcement," he said. "She will perform the Talanara today." "The what?" asked Dr. Martinez. "The choosing ceremony," Kefir explained. "It is one of our most sacred rituals. The Empress will select her life companion." Alex felt his stomach drop. "She's getting married, in your terms, yes? But for us, it is much more than marriage. It is a joining of souls, a bond that lasts beyond death itself." Dr. Park leaned forward. "How often does this happen?" "The last choosing ceremony was over a century ago," Kefir replied. "Most of us have never seen one. The entire empire is watching." "Why now?" Captain Torres asked. "Why suddenly decide to do this while we're here?" Kefir looked directly at Alex. "Because the Empress has experienced something that our people call soul pull. It is a connection that cannot be denied, cannot be fought. When it happens, the choosing ceremony must follow." Alex's mouth went dry. "Soul pull, it is rare. Perhaps once in 1,000 years, the soul recognizes its perfect match, its other half. The Empress has been fighting this feeling since yesterday, but it has only grown stronger." The human team exchanged worried glances. "Are we invited to watch?" Dr. Martinez asked diplomatically. "You are honored guests. Of course you may observe. But understand, this ceremony will change everything, not just for the Empress, but for both our peoples." 2 hours later, they were escorted to the throne room, which had been transformed. The space was filled with thousands of aliens from across the empire, all floating in perfect formation. The walls pulsed with ceremonial patterns, and the air itself seemed to hum with energy. "I've never seen anything like this," whispered Dr. Kim. "It's like the entire ship is alive and celebrating." Traditional candidates began to present themselves. Alex watched as powerful warriors demonstrated their strength. Brilliant scientists showed their knowledge, and noble heirs displayed their wealth and status. Each one approached the Empress, who sat on a throne that seemed to be made of living crystal. "They're all so impressive," Dr. Park observed, but Alex noticed something the others didn't. With each candidate, the Empress seemed to grow more distressed. Her skin patterns showed what he somehow knew was frustration and sadness. None of the candidates were creating the connection she needed. "She's not happy," he said quietly. KETH single quotes VAR, who was standing nearby, nodded. "The soul pull is specific. It cannot be fulfilled by just anyone, no matter how worthy they may be." The ceremony continued for hours. Candidate after candidate failed to create the bond. The court was growing restless, and Alex could sense the confusion and concern among the aliens. Finally, the Empress stood. The entire court fell silent as she stepped down from her throne. Alex felt that familiar tingling sensation, stronger than ever before. "The traditional candidates have shown great honor," she announced, her voice carrying across the vast space. But the soul pull cannot be denied. It calls to one who is not of our blood, not of our world. She began walking across the throne room, and Alex realized with growing panic that she was walking toward the human delegation. "Oh no," he whispered. "The prophecy speaks of a bridge between worlds," the Empress continued, never taking her eyes off Alex. "A connection that will unite different forms of life in a bond stronger than death itself." She stopped directly in front of Alex. The entire court was so quiet that Alex could hear his own heartbeat. "You feel it too," she said softly, speaking directly to him. "The pull between our souls. I have fought it, denied it, but it only grows stronger." Alex wanted to speak, to say something, but his voice had completely left him. All he could do was stare into her luminous eyes. "I choose you," she said, her voice carrying across the throne room. "Alex Chen of Earth, I choose you as my life companion, my soul's match." The court erupted in chaos. Some aliens were flashing colors of joy and excitement. Others showed shock and confusion. But Alex barely noticed. The Empress had placed her hand on his chest, and suddenly both of them were glowing with the same beautiful light. "What's happening to me?" Alex managed to whisper. "The bonding," she replied. "Our souls are recognizing each other." Alex felt a strange mark appear on his forehead, warm and tingling. Looking up, he saw that the same mark had appeared on the Empress's forehead. The court fell silent again, all eyes on this unprecedented sight. "The bond is sealed," Kethver announced, his voice filled with awe. "The prophecy has been fulfilled." Alex looked at his fellow humans, who were staring at him with expressions of shock and amazement. Then he looked back at the Empress, who was smiling for the first time since he met her. "I know this is overwhelming," she said gently, "but we are connected now, in ways your people do not yet understand. This is only the beginning." The hours after the ceremony passed in a blur. Alex found himself in the Empress's private chambers, a space that was both alien and beautiful. The walls seemed to breathe with soft light, and gardens of crystalline plants grew in impossible formations. "Are you afraid?" Zerdiel asked. She had told him to use her name when they were alone. Terrified, Alex admitted. "I don't understand what's happening to me, to us," she smiled. And Alex noticed that her skin patterns had shifted to warmer, gentler colors. "The bonding allows us to share emotions, memories, even thoughts, but it takes time to develop fully." "What does this mean for my team, for humanity?" "It means everything has changed. Our people are now connected through us. Your species and mine will learn from each other, grow together." Over the following days, Alex discovered that Zerdiel was not just a ruler but a brilliant scientist. She showed him the biotechnology that powered their civilization. Their ships were living creatures, grown rather than built. Their computers were organic, capable of thinking and feeling. "We learned long ago that technology and nature must work together," she explained as they walked through a garden that existed inside the ship. "Your people are still learning this lesson." Alex was fascinated. "We're just beginning to understand bioengineering. This could solve so many problems on Earth." "And your people's approach to individual freedom fascinates me," Zerdiel replied. "Our society is built on collective harmony. Everyone knows their place, their purpose. But your people create their own purposes, choose their own paths." As days passed, their connection deepened. Alex began to understand the weight of ruling an empire, the constant decisions that affected billions of lives. Zerdiel experienced human emotion she had never felt before, the joy of discovery, the excitement of the unknown, the simple pleasure of choosing what to do with your time. "I can feel your thoughts sometimes," Alex said one evening as they watched the stars together. "And I can feel yours. Your mind is so different from ours, so creative and chaotic. It's wonderful." But their happiness was threatened by growing opposition. A group of Veltheran nobles, led by a general named Exmer, believe that the Empress had been corrupted by human influence. "They think I've been brainwashed," Alex said after Kethver warned them about the growing conspiracy. "And some of your people think the same about you," Zerdiel replied sadly. "They fear what they don't understand." The situation became more serious when intercepted communications revealed that General Vexmer was planning to remove Zeradil from power. He claimed that the soul bond was an alien trick, designed to control humanity. We need to return to Earth, Zeradil decided. We must show both our peoples that this bond is real, that it offers hope for both our species. That's incredibly dangerous, Alex protested. If something goes wrong, then we face it together. That's what the bond means. We are stronger together than apart. Captain Torres and the human delegation were initially skeptical of the plan, but they eventually agreed. The evidence of cooperation between the two species was already showing results. Working together, human and Veltheran scientists had developed new forms of clean energy and revolutionary medical treatments. If we can prove that this partnership benefits everyone, Dr. Martinez said, maybe we can overcome the fear and suspicion. As they prepared to leave for Earth, Alex felt a mixture of excitement and terror. He was about to introduce his new wife to his home world, but he knew that not everyone would welcome her with open arms. Whatever happens, Zeradil said, taking his hand, we face it together. The arrival of the Empress's ship at Earth caused a sensation that could be seen from space. Every news network in the world was broadcasting the event, and people gathered in cities across the globe to watch the sky. I've never seen anything like this, said Dr. Rodriguez, Alex's former colleague, as she watched the coverage. The whole planet is holding its breath. Alex and Zeradil's first appearance at the United Nations was unlike anything in human history. The General Assembly was packed with representatives from every nation, all eager to see the first alien-human couple. Members of the United Nations, Alex began, his voice surprisingly steady. I stand before you not just as a human, but as a bridge between two worlds. The bond I share with Empress Zeradil has shown us possibilities we never imagined. Zeradil stepped forward, her translation device converting her musical voice into dozens of languages simultaneously. Your species and mine have much to offer each other. We bring technologies that could heal your world, clean your air, and extend your lives. You bring creativity, individual spirit, and a hunger for knowledge that amazes us. The demonstration that followed left the assembly speechless. Working together, human and Veltheran scientists had created medical devices that could heal injuries in minutes, energy systems that produced no waste, and communication technologies that could connect minds across vast distances. This is just the beginning, Alex explained. Together, we can solve problems that have plagued both our species for generations. But the presentation was interrupted by the arrival of General Vex. Moore's war fleet, dozens of Veltheran ships, appeared in Earth's sky, their weapons powered and ready. People of Earth. Vexmer's voice boomed across every communication system on the planet. You have been deceived. Your representative has been corrupted by alien influence. We have come to free him and protect you from further manipulation. Panic spread across the globe. Military forces scrambled to respond, but Earth's weapons were no match for Veltheran technology. It seemed like humanity was about to become caught in an alien civil war. There has to be another way, Alex said desperately. Zeradil's eyes were filled with determination. There is. The bond between us is stronger than they realize. We can use it to show them the truth. What do you mean? Trust me, she said, taking his hands. Open your mind to mine completely. Let our bond expand beyond just us. Alex felt a surge of energy as their connection deepened. Suddenly, he could sense not just Zeradil's thoughts, but the minds of every Veltheran in the fleet above. Through their bond, he began to share his memories, his emotions, his hopes for the future. The effect was immediate. The Veltheran soldiers, who had been preparing for battle, suddenly experienced human emotions directly. They felt Alex's love for Zeradil, his excitement about learning and discovery, his hope for peace between their peoples. At the same time, humans around the world began to sense Veltheran thoughts and feelings. They experienced the aliens' deep connection to nature, their collective concern for all life, their ancient wisdom about living in harmony with the universe. I can feel them, whispered Dr. Martinez, tears streaming down her face. They're not so different from us. General Vexmer's voice came over the communications again. But this time it was different. I understand now. The bond is not corruption. It is connection. True connection. One by one, the Veltheran ships powered down their weapons. The crisis was over. But more than that, it had become a moment of unprecedented unity between two species. What happens now? Asked Captain Torres. Alex looked at Zerdil, then at the crowd of humans and Veltheran who had gathered together. Now we build something new. A place where both our peoples can live and learn together. 6 months later, Alex stood in the observation deck of New Harmony, a space station built jointly by humans and Veltheran. It orbited a planet halfway between Earth and the Veltheran homeworld, a place where both species could feel at home. The first children are being born, Zerdil said, joining him at the observation window. She was visibly pregnant with their first child, a baby who would be the first true hybrid of both species. Are you happy? Alex asked. Happier than I ever imagined possible, she replied. We've created something beautiful, haven't we? Alex watched as human and Veltheran children played together in the gardens below, their laughter echoing through the station. Yeah, we have. Their love story had become something bigger than either of them had imagined. It had become the foundation for a new kind of civilization, one that proved that differences could be bridges rather than barriers. As Alex held his wife and felt their unborn child move within her, he knew that this was just the beginning. The bridge between worlds that the prophecy had spoken of wasn't just about him and Zerdil. It was about every human and Veltheran who would choose connection over fear, understanding over hatred. I love you, he whispered. And I love you, she replied. Across all the stars, through all time, I love you. Their child kicked, as if agreeing with both of them, and Alex smiled. The future was going to be amazing.